the classes. I appreciate everybody coming again to another like cool like class that we've had. I think this is the last class. No, nope, I was actually wrong. I was gonna say this is the last class for me in the week, but I'll be actually doing an EU friendly class on Saturday. Today we're gonna be covering like context signs, so signs that are the same but can mean different things depending on the like way the sentence is going or the conversation. I'm gonna go ahead and explain just a little bit of rules before we start the class. So if you don't mind being on the stream, there's on the back wall it says streaming area. This is like this entire class is going to be recorded, and I'm going to do a 15-minute interval in the middle of the class, and Andy will be going around and recording some of the interactions with the students, including his own. And so if you don't mind being on the stream, this is the side of the classroom that you could be on. If you don't want to be on the stream, then this is the side of the classroom that you could be on. There's no stress to be on the stream or anything like that. It's purely just so we can educate people who aren't going to be showing up to the classes as well.
I don't
So
see the streaming
everything
area.
is posted in the archive section on the Discord and in the YouTube channel for Sign Hub. You can find all that in the Discord. So yeah, I appreciate you guys all being here. I'm not sure if everybody here is in the Discord, but if you'd like to join it, it's discord.gg/immerse. You can find the link at the beginning over there in the entrance. What's up?
I don't have a PC, so I can't join it.
Do you have a phone?
No, I broke it.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Well, this world gets updated with the new schedule every week, and so if you want to just come over here and check the schedule, if you want to like attend more classes, then you're more than welcome to. And if you ever get the chance to join the Discord, it would be a good way to like find information regarding classes or just interact with more people. And if you have questions, you can reach out to people easier that way. So,
Well,
but
I could join it, but I'd have to go on my
It's
laptop.
completely up to you. It's not a requirement to be in the Discord in order to attend these classes. It's just recommended. So, yeah. Also, I guess it would be a requirement to join the Discord only class, like the one that the webcam. But that's just like a given. But I will like stop at certain points to ask if you guys have any questions. So I ask that you guys save your questions for those specific times. You guys have a tendency to be really shy and not ask questions. I'm going to go ahead and say this. There's no such thing as a dumb question, and not in my book, and I'm not going to judge you if you have a question that you feel is like, not like is this dumb, because I encourage people to ask questions. That's how you learn, right? So don't be shy. If you have an actual question, feel free to come up to me and ask me. Um, Also, if you do have a question, when I do ask those things, just come up to the desk because I'm blind as fuck, so I can't always see when somebody's raising their hand. So yeah, just come up to the desk and I'll set designated times for that. Okay, cool. So like I said, today we're gonna be covering context signs. I know there's probably gonna be a lot of context signs that aren't on here. I just wrote down a lot of examples, but it seems like a lot of people have struggles with just being able to pick apart like a specific context sign, that's fine, especially when you're newer. Sometimes being able to identify them is a little bit more difficult. So today I want to practice doing that. And so when we go and split up and start conversating with people, what I want you guys to do is practice using the context signs. Because the more you use those signs specifically, the more the better you'll get at like identifying them. So, first of all, I want to start with sure, true, or real. So it's done like this. So you have your palm facing to the other side of you, like this. It's like this. From your lips outwards, it means sure, or true, or real, depending on the context. This is the sign for context. I know it's going to be a little weird in VR, but it's like you stick your finger through your other fingers, and it's like you're spinning around like this. Context. So the sign for sure is like, are you sure? Are you sure about that? You sure about that? The entire sentence would be like, You literally would have to go like, "Are you sure about that?" You could literally like, "Are you sure about that?" Tilt your head and indicate it be a question. Now, if you're talking about like true, it's the same exact thing, right? Which is like true, true. So it's all depending on what conversation you guys are having, right? It's the same thing with real. I want to go ahead and put a little emphasis on like what some people like to do, including myself, when you're talking about something like real or really. So real is the same sign. If you were to do like really, like you would literally really, you would just exaggerate it. Really, you can do that with all of those signs actually. You can actually just like exaggerate it depending on like if you're trying what point you're trying to make, what you're trying to get across. And then also a neat little trick that I like to do, I learned from a good friend a little while ago, is adding like a Y to it. So really, really, it kind of makes it a little bit more clear what you're talking about. Like when you add the Y, like if you're doing like really, you know. So sure, true, or real, really. You can do that with a lot of songs that or not songs, signs that that have like a Y at the end, or you can do that. I actually probably will do more of an in-depth lesson on that specifically in the future. But that's just an example of like if it has a Y at the end of it, you can add a Y to it. Friendly. I've seen a lot of different like ways to do that. It's just like a way to spice up your own sign accent. I think that's pretty cool. I covered this before. I think I did yesterday. But if you guys were here yesterday, do you guys remember the sign for just or or only that I showed you guys before? If you weren't here, that's fine. This is also another context sign. So you would start with your palm facing away from you, and then you turn it facing towards you. It's just one motion. So point A to point B. So that's the sign for just and or only. Only. I only have two like siblings, or for example, or um, I'm just built differently. You know, just and or only. Yeah, the context sign. That's pretty. It's one of my favorites actually. You can sign just. I'll go ahead and like say this again. We covered this a little bit yesterday. You can sign just like this. Just. You see people doing that in VR. So just so you can identify the sign for just. This is a way that some people do it with an initialized J. So just. But if you're trying to be more like ASL like friendly, if you're trying to be doing more like have more ASL grammar, this would be the way to go. So just and or only. But in PSE, you do see people use just like that. Cool. This one's a pretty similar, but I also wanted to cover a little bit of a side note with this one. So the sign for make and or create is you have one hand and then you put the other hand on top and then you're just rotating your wrists like this. It's like you're creating something. You're building something up like this. You're twisting both of your wrists in a motion like this. So make and or create. So a lot of people tend to use the actual meaning for make and create a little bit differently in VR than it's actually intended to be used for. So like say for example, like I need to like make sure. I want to make sure that you're all happy. Technically that wouldn't be correct, the correct way. If you're talking about like making something, like making an actual item or creating something, that would be like what you're talking about. If you're trying to like, there's actual signs for things like make sure, like the sign for think. That's the that's the actual correct sign for something like make sure, think. Um, I'm gonna post something in the Discord that's kind of elaborating a little bit more on the sign for make in different ways because I don't think I have like a lot of like energy in me to be able to cover all of that right now. But there are different ways that you would use or have something like build, or there's different words that you can use to if you want to try and be more like correct on grammar. But people will use the sign for like make like for example make sure. But so like it's good to be able to identify when people do that. But once again, if you're trying to be more close to like ASL grammar, the sign for make or create is to literally make or create something. Like make a friend. That's not technically correct, but people do use it. I wanna talk a little bit more about care and careful as well, and I'll show you a couple different ways to do that as well. Um, so the sign for care and or careful is you have two K hands. If you have indexes, if mine will work, it would look like this. You put one on your wrist like this. Like your dominant hand will be the one that's above the other one. And then you do it in a rotating motion like this going forward. Careful or care. Careful or care. They both mean the same thing, or they're not the same thing. They both are the same sign, but they can be contextually different. I also want to show you guys another example of like if somebody's saying take care, you wouldn't actually literally sign take care. There's actually a way to do that. So you would literally just tap it twice on your wrist. Take care. Take care. Take care. So care or careful. I care about you, you know, or, careful. Some people do sign it like this too. Say like if they want to say sign take care, they can just they do careful before they say goodbye. That like technically works, but I would recommend doing the take care route. Careful, like if you're trying to warn somebody to be careful, careful, careful. It is directional too. If you're trying to be careful, you can rotate it towards yourself. Careful, right? I believe there's a way to sign care as well. In another way, if you care about something or somebody, you can sign care like this, close to your cheeks with two fists. I care. I care about you. It's something really means a lot to you. I care about you. It's a little bit more affectionate, but both work. It's up to you, depending on what you want to convey in your sentence. So collect, earn, gather. They're all the same sign again. It's another interesting one. So you have your base of your hand or your base, and you're collecting. You're collecting. You're pulling it towards yourself. You're earning it. You earned that paycheck. Your collection. I can actually show you that. It's a neat one too. So collection. So you would do the sign for collect, and then you would be stacking them next to each other. Collection. So, but collect, earn, or gather. You're gathering resources. You're gathering information. Yeah, collect. Collect. Yeah, it's a cool sign. Also a cool person. I know a person named Collect in VR chat. Pretty cool. Here's an easy one. If you guys don't know the sign for like right or correct, I use it a lot when I'm having a conversation. So you have your index fingers out, right? And then you just tap this part of your wrist one time. So correct or right. You see people do it on the top of their hand. That's fine. As long as you're crossing your fingers like this or crossing your hands like this, means correct and or right. So like, yeah, you're correct about that sign. Correct. That's a. I don't know if I was gonna put that one to be honest, because it's pretty much the exact same meaning really. So, but yeah. Also, I want to go ahead and say that the sign for right like that does not equal to the sign for like I would say like animal rights. There's actually a sign for that, and it's like this. Right. You have your base again, and you're going upwards. Like I have the right to go and vote. I have the right to do what you have the right to do that. That's your right. So this just means the sign for correct or that you answered the question right or you know. But this means going upwards means that you have the right to do that or in that sense. Also, I guess I can tell you the sign for all right is kind of similar to this one, but then you're just going upwards twice. I'm all right. Like how are you doing today? I'm all right. How about you? I'm all right. All right. So the last one I'm gonna put before I ask, actually, if anybody has any contextual signs that they would like to add to this list, I can cover it a little bit as well. Is like O or det or bill. So once again, you have the base of your hand. Det. You tap the middle of your hand. You put some emphasis into it. So that's your you owe me money. You owe me money. You know, or like I'm in debt to my college. I'm in debt to my college big time. You know, the same thing with bill. Like I have bills. I have bills I need to pay. You know, so another contextual sign. Um, once again, you're putting it into the middle of your middle of your palm. Debt. I have that debt. Yeah, that's where you have your money. Debt. Put that debt. Any questions so far? If you do, okay. What's up, Dana?
Is the sign for collect kind of similar to win?
So win would be you have a fist like this, and you'd be going over it. So it is similar. But with collect, you have the money or you have whatever you're collecting or gathering in your hand, and then you're pulling it towards yourself. You're pulling it towards yourself, so you're collecting it. Yeah. So it is similar. It's a good question, but there's one difference. You have an open palm versus a fist where you're winning. Yeah. Any other questions? There's a lot of really, really closely similar signs like need with an X hand, need, and or should. It's the only difference is you're tapping it twice. So need and or should. What's up?
Like, you know how there's different types of like yours, like, oh, that's your cactus, or like you're being annoying. Like, do they
hmm
have different stuff for that in sign language, or
They have no. It
is
would be
it
the same. It would like there. It would be the same. So like if you would
you just
sign
have
like
to
your
use
and
the
the sign for
sense, right?
your, yeah, the sign for your is like your, theirs, or mine or my is with an open hand. But if you're talking about like you and specifically, you would just point. If you're talking about me, you'd point at yourself. Or you're talking about them, you'd point at everybody.
Mhm.
So, but it would be the same exact sign because it would just
Thank
be
you.
YOUR. It wouldn't be YOU apostrophe RE. It'd be the same. Yeah. ASL grammar is definitely built a little differently than like just regular English grammar. It's a very different complex language, but a lot of the same words, like say like the word for innocence is my favorite sign. I refer to it all the time. It means the exact same thing in like English that it would in like sign language, but it could be used differently too. So just always make sure you're like verifying everything that you check with like a teacher online, and you'll be surprised at how many words are very easy to just transfer into ASL. What's up, Bonnie? Explain. Yeah. Can I explain pronouns? Ooh. Okay. I don't know if I'm the most qualified to explain pronouns, but I can try. Um, so pronouns are what somebody like goes by in terms of like, are you talking about like just like personal pronouns in terms of a personality, like what they identify as, like he, she, or they? Any pronouns? Um, Actually, you know what? I'm not the most like taught like knowledgeable person on this. I'm gonna go ahead and refer to one of my like really close friends that would probably be able to give a little bit better of an explanation on pronouns. Dreamer, could you help me with this? That'd be really sick of you. Just because I don't want to be wrong technically, but I trust Dreamer's judgment on them a lot more.
Sure.
So,
So, what was the exact question? Like in terms of
can
like
you explain the
how you
differences
sign?
between pronouns, or like explain what an wait, are you talking about signing pronouns, or are you talking about just in general what are pronouns? Signing pronouns? Oh. there's
Yeah, you
there's
told me,
very
you know that.
little. Okay, I thought you were just talking about in general. Well, if you want to just go ahead and explain pronouns, then I can also like take it from after that as well.
Wait, but like in
Explain explain just because we're on it. Just explain like the definition of like a pronoun and what people use it for, and then I'll take it from like the signing perspective of pronouns.
Oh, okay, cool. So a pronoun, in its most basic form, is just I speak very quietly, so I'm sorry if you have to like turn me up by like 1,000,000%. Uh, it's a pronoun just takes place of basically a name of something, anything, and like not even necessarily a person. In this context, yes, we're talking about a singular person. Um, the most common ones are he, she, they. But hi, yes, I'm very quiet. You need me? Is it because I'm quiet? Okay. Uh, there's also a lot of completely different pronouns called neopronouns. Things like Zer. I saw one recently that was new and I'd never seen before, and I really liked it. I think it was MN. I liked that. It like ENEM. It was cool. Um, but pretty much it's just it's not even fully based on like a gender identity. Like of course there's like male, female, and then all of the like non-binary stuff, which is a whole list of things. But it's like a CVS receipt. Uh, but like there's like count pronouns out there, and it's just based off of what people are comfortable with. So I mean, yeah, if someone's like, yo, what up? I'm non-binary. Here, I'll use me as an example. I'm non-binary. I use they, them pronouns. Cool, do that. Use that. Yeah, nice. Cool. Someone's like, hey, I'm a female. I use she and they. Nice. Use both of those in whatever context they like. But it's all very preferential and stuff. So, I mean, when in doubt, just ask people what they prefer. Fun times. And then in the context
Thank
of
you, Jim.
sign, who the frick cares? Just point at people.
Yeah, exactly. So, in sign language, thank you, Dreamer. I appreciate it. In
No
sign
problem.
language, we don't really like use pronouns too often. There are gender. I think the term is called gender roles. Possibly, I could be wrong, but we do use things like gender, like the like girl, the sign for girl, the sign for boy. So all the male pronouns or the male pronouns. I'm sitting here saying there's an actual sign for pronoun, and it's just like it's a sign for personality, but you would do it twice. So pronouns. So, but technically, all like the male like pronouns would be up here above your head. There's an explanation on why, but it's actually slipping my head. I believe it was because men wear top hats and then females use bonnets. I believe that was the reason why those were originally made. So all the female pronouns like girl, mom, grandma, grand or dad and granddad, boy, all of them are going to be in this like the boy pronouns are going to be up here and then girl pronouns are going to be down here. Um and but generally when you're referring to somebody, you would do exactly as Dreamer said. You would just like point at them or you would use their name. So like I go by he or his pronoun, but most of the time if somebody's conversating about me, they'll use my sign name, which is Panda, like this. So you would just like refer to them as by their name pretty much. Like it's very like if you really want to get like if you're signing like everything like say sign exact English and you're talking about somebody like uh like Dreamer, like we use dream person for Dreamer. They, you would just probably like finger spell like his, hers, or they. So is that, yeah, no problem. Are there any other like questions? What's up, Ezzy?
When you were talking about make and create, and you're talking like in the literal sense, how would you say something
Mhm.
like I made a friend or I need to make more friends? Because you're not literally making friends. Would it be the
You would
same or would
probably
that be a
talk
different
about it
sign?
in the sense of like have, like I have a new friend. You would just like talk about like that's what I'm not 100% sure how to explain it, and I don't want to explain it wrong. I was reading an article about it yesterday because I was trying to like prepare for it, but when I was talking about like when you own something or you possess something, you would sign something like I have that, like I have a new friend, you know, and then or like but like I do see people like sign I made like a new friend, and I think that's like okay, but I need to like brush up on the exact like reasoning and like what would be better words to use. I'll probably do that after class a little bit, and then I can elaborate on it a little bit like probably tomorrow or but I wanted to like make sure I know exactly what I'm talking about before I just start spewing bullshit. So yeah,
Okay, sounds
I'll
good.
do a little bit more research on it. Yeah, no problem. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Cool. So, like I said earlier, I like to take about 15 minutes out of every class to encourage you guys all to make a new friend. There's a lot of people here that are pretty new to the class and I've never seen before. So that probably means that there's a white name around you and not everybody's yellow. So I encourage you guys to go up to somebody and start a conversation. It's okay to start a conversation with words if you're not comfortable using sign language yet. But I do this to encourage people to be able to just start conversations with different people instead of being nervous. So I'm going to do this for 15 minutes. I encourage you guys to try and practice using any of these words up here in a conversation. Try and think about how to incorporate them. And if you have questions, you can ask me. No problem. I'm gonna go ahead and start it now, and at the 50-minute mark, we'll come back to class. So just go ahead and start. Just find somebody around you. Go and introduce yourself. Nice to meet you. I've been learning sign language for 4 minutes now. For example. So yeah, go ahead and start now. And like I said, it is a-okay to be using your voice here. I'm just doing this so you guys can learn how to break the ice with people. So.
Wait, did you say I owe you something?
Did he disappear?
I knew that was gonna come up. You owe me. Where's my money? What's up,
I
Bonnie?
don't owe you anything for going to class. You should be going to class anyway.
Is
You
anyone willing
need
to partner with
learn
me?
more.
Sure, I don't mind. Oh,
Y'all want to do like a
Well, I still need one, so I'm open.
If you're more comfortable,
F me.
you
Oh,
and
fuck you.
Yeah.
friend.
I met a friend. Yeah.
Are you willing to partner?
Not nice.
That makes you more comfy.
Alright, so like I'm new to this stuff, so like
Let's find a new
Yeah, I
person.
met a friend. Yeah.
I was
Today
like-
I met a new friend. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
wants to
So
sign with me?
like,
What's the sign?
Like, we
I'm
just,
gonna
like-
point
I'll say that, thank you.
Any
Just
signers?
point me.
so I was wondering like, so I want to get into this kind of stuff, right? So like, if I were to tell someone like if I was going into learning and I was like, I don't know that much about sign language or like,
Mm.
I don't know what you're saying in sign language.
I don't know.
Like, how would I do that?
Most of the time you could just say,
I think this is
I'm
just hard, 'cause I can't
new
even hear you with
to
what's
sign
behind me.
language.
But it's a little
So
bit
you would do, like, you point to yourself, hi,
It's okay.
and that's a sign for new.
I got it.
Right here, like,
Yeah,
up
so,
like
so like, one arm like this, and then like that. New.
so me.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, you're a new to sign. This is a sign for sign.
It is, but I'm willing to try it.
And then language. So it's two L hands, like that, yeah. So you go, I'm new to sign language.
Oh, so I'm new
Me too.
to sign language.
Got it.
Alright.
And
Thank you.
of course, my
Anyway,
tip to everyone who is brand new to sign language is learn the alphabet first, mostly because learn the alphabet or finger spelling is you could still use that to actually have a conversation with someone. It will definitely take longer than knowing the sign, but you can still have a conversation with someone. So if there's like a sign that you don't know, you can finger spell it, for example. So that's my number one tip.
Oh, like,
Have you been to that help?
so I could be like, oh,
Hands.
if I was gonna say like,
I
how are you? I could spell out with my hands like fast. How are you?
Oh, that's nice.
And most of the time, if someone knows the sign 100% and you fingerspell it, they will show you the sign. That's why a very good, useful tool for practice anyways is, of course, you can practice by yourself, but having conversations with people helps tremendously. And that's how I mostly learned, is by just having conversation with people.
You see, like, I was gonna say, like, since I have like a sign language character, like, usually the thumb would go into the circle or whatever, like the fist. But since the thumb like goes out and it makes an A technically, right? Would I use this or would I still do like this?
You would still do it like this.
Alright, so I would do like this for A, and then B is...
So B in general VR is like this.
Like this?
Yeah. So this finger is indicating that the thumb is tucked in. So, but keep in mind, this is for like general VR. Index, there's a few signs that are a little bit different. I might bug Pandalum after for some of the signs, but yeah. So that's B.
The sign for same is also the sign for.
I think I got taught that. Like you go like this, and then you put your finger like that.
Yeah, or index player. Yeah, that's another sign for B. It's just a thumb to being tucked in.
Wait. When you're on Valve, can you like move whatever finger you want down? Like.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Of course, they can mimic more IRL signs, but they can't mimic every single sign.
So like.
Have you met Mousy?
Yeah, for example, E. Yeah.
How would you do like? What are they called? What's a weird one that you can only do in
F?
Sure is like this.
F.
Yes.
Well, I guess I am.
And in general VR, we indicate by pointing to our thumb. I mean, to our index to our thumb.
Young people these days.
Alright, so like this, and then I go like, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah, index to thumb. And Y, yeah. Some avatars do have Y though.
I think I have Y. Oh wait, my controller's bugging, but.
Yep, there you go.
You are correct. But she's a little.
Oh yeah,
mean.
wait. Yeah, 8 hand. Yeah.
She's a big bully.
What does that mean?
So that's an 8 hand. They're signing like.
Okay, wait, how do you... So you asked me,
Oh.
how do I... Is this dead? Or is it with the... Okay.
So yeah, index players kind of get some benefits, but they can't mimic every single sign.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still pretty cool. I'm guessing you have full body too.
That's her. She's fucking cool.
Yep.
She's mean.
That's cool. That stuff is expensive, bro.
They said very.
So like for me, it would be like this.
Very, very good friend. But
I don't
a
want
real
to die.
Wait. I drink
mean person.
a lot of...
You got that? What is it? Careful learning bad sign. Don't teach new student.
Bruh. I saw that one part. So I read his wait, hold on. I want to make sure I actually got the pronoun correct.
Sign for infants, like bad.
Okay, I did.
245.
His VR rig cost us $4,000.
His VR what?
rig, like his entire setup.
Honestly, I
2 hours off.
Oh, so like
you're not
including your
really
computer
good at
or just like the VR and the. So including the computer or just.
always tell me
That's
that
what you
helping
did.
hands isn't really
Thank you for coming today.
that great.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'm
So
not
literally
very,
everything.
very energetic now, but you know.
Gotcha.
Alright,
You
so
know the sign for gay.
your computer, I'm guessing, was around like 1,000 something,
Energy
and then
person.
the valve is like 1,000. I'm pretty sure, right?
Thank you.
And I
Thank you. I
honestly,
appreciate your forgiveness. Huh?
I feel like this is better for me.
Those words
since
are-
I want to get
What
as
is that?
close to real life sign as possible.
Oh, 1100.
100.
It would
1100.
Oh,
really benefit me.
so 1,100. And full body tracking is like
300 minimum, unless you get more.
Gather everybody again.
cerebral palsy,
No?
so he cannot.
Yeah?
He cannot speak.
you
Oh,
spent
450?
500.
Sign.
Oh, 450.
Well, I know like currency differences. It does. Oh wait, no. I forgot. The new full body, they're 150 each per buck. Yeah. I forgot.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, I'm not paying for that.
So
If I'm
wait.
ever gonna get FBT, I'm paying for the $100 bucks. Fuck that shit.
You could literally say,
So wait.
I met a new friend. You would need to say like I made a new
The boxes are 100 each.
friend. A new friend today.
So for each puck, the one. Wait, were they called 1.0s?
I knew this at
Technically?
one point.
Yeah.
Are the
like me to teach
hmm?
you these words?
Oh, okay. Because I know the 1.0s were $100 each. The new ones are 150, right?
I don't know. You want me to check? I can look it up. Let me look it up, actually.
You're good.
Yeah.
All right, so
I don't know why I'm getting.
I'm not completely
everybody's volumes are
sure
very choppy for me.
if I'm right, but like with the full body tracking, you put one around like the crease in your arm right here, like your forearm, and you put one right here.
No.
No.
So you put one on each foot,
Here.
and then oh wait, you do it on your. Oh, you have chest and hips. I'm guessing. No.
They look in this direction.
Oh, okay. Because I know most people like put it on like their
so, like-
hip or like their stomach.
So you get like this, and then your feet.
Oh, that is so much better. Wow.
So 3.
Oh, so you only have 3.
Wait, what? I was gonna say.
Got you. I do want to try those Wi-Fi ones once they actually start going into the actual market.
If I make anything else.
Well, I
Is that what
mean,
you have? Is that why you did?
no, they said same. They want to get them as well because they're actually not. You can't buy them yet. You can pre-order them, but you can't buy them yet. And they run on your Wi-Fi instead.
So wait, I learned like this.
That's a good question.
in
Coots,
school.
Saying I make coffee, like these signs look so similar.
you want to sign with us?
So palm facing, and then
Yes.
Okay, guys, start wrapping up your conversations. I'm gonna do a quick review, and then I'm gonna end the class.
You're fine. You're fine. Yeah. I'm gonna see reviews first before they actually do come out. Anyways, I gotta get
I
back
don't
to
see the
sign up.
streaming area.
Alright, we'll talk later.
No, we just meet
We'll talk
somebody,
later.
just like,
Oh,
guys.
that's whoops.
I waited.
And
I was
new
watching you guys,
friend.
and I was like, "Oh, they're about to get into a conversation," and wrap that up. All right, go ahead. That's time.
It was nice meeting you, though.
Later, shoddy. I'm sorry to have abandoned you. He just came in late, so.
Does that mean to you too, or same?
That's okay. If they came in late, like everybody
So,
always usually
this
stays for
means-
like an hour or two after the class ends to review and just hang
Like-
out and get to know each other. So like there'll be plenty of time to do that. If you,
You?
need to, like review
Or-
everything. I'm gonna stay for a little while after the class too to answer any questions
Oh,
that people have. But
nice.
I wanted to go over
Oh,
a way that kind of slipped my mind
alright.
a little bit. Yeah, it slipped my
I'm
mind.
gonna add you.
That Henri was able to remind me about, which is if you're talking about like making a new friend, right? you can actually just use like the sign like, hey, I met a new friend today. Like, I met a new friend today. That would literally be the alternative right there. So like I met a new friend today. Yeah. So in terms of like making a new friend, yeah, it would be just like I met a new friend. Also, I wanted to talk about like your palm direction when you're doing shore again, because it's very important that you do the side of your wrist when you're doing shore, true, or real. Because if you turn your wrist this way, it means say. If you turn it this way, no, it means tell. If this as I say, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused in my own shit. It means tell. It means tell if you turn your wrist facing outwards, so tell. And if you face your wrist like from inwards, it means say. So say. So it's very important that you do it from the side, like this, for true, real, or sure. And because they're very, very similar signs. So it's just like similar to the signs for always and where. The sign for where is like this. Where, with your palm facing away from you. But if you do it this way, it means always. Always. You can put more emphasis on always. You can do it like with a bigger circle to kind of differentiate the two. Also, I believe this is also a way to say like single if you do it in small strides. Like a single person or single not a single person, but like a single object, single thing. I guess person would probably work too. But you can do it like with small circles. So this would mean where, this would mean single, and then with bigger emphasis means always. Very similar signs. But it's very important that you pay attention to where you're putting your hands, just so you don't like accidentally sign the wrong thing. Okay guys, what I want to do really quick is I want to go over these one more time so you guys can remember the signs for them. Do you guys remember the sign for shore, true, or real? I just showed it to you guys, so it should be pretty easy, right? Right? So shore, true, or real. Yeah, if you guys were to put like more emphasis on like really, you can add a Y to it once again. Or you can just do this. You could draw it out. You can be like, really? You know, just draw it out. Like, real? You know? Whatever floats your boat. You guys remember the sign for just and only? Just and only? Yeah, you start right here. Point A. You flick it towards yourself. Point B. Right here. So just and only. Yeah, the other sign that people use for just is a J hand into the hand, or J into the hand, like that, and you initialize it. So make and or create. Make and or create. Make sure you're twisting both of your wrists when you're doing this, because if you only do one, it looks really identical to the sign for coffee. So you want to make sure you're twisting both of your wrists to signify that you're making and or creating or something. Now this one's one of the more tough ones. I can also show you similar signs for it, but I want to like kind of go over a little bit. So care and or careful. Do you guys remember the sign for care and careful? Care and careful. Yeah, 2K hands. Care, careful. If you were to talk about taking care, like take care, how do you sign that? Take care. Yeah, you tap it twice. You don't actually move this hand at all. You would sign take care. Take care. Now, yeah, take care. I actually think I'm gonna do a lesson on a lot of similar signs, like the sign for kind or type. Keep is just one time, and then you have like take care is 2 times, and careful. There's a lot of signs that are very similar, but just signed a little bit differently, and they mean a lot different. So now the sign for collect or earn or gather. You guys remember that one? The collect, earn, or gather. You have what you're earning or collecting or gathering, and you're pulling it towards yourself. You start with an open hand, and then you grab it and pull it towards yourself. You're collecting it. You're collecting it. Right. Now I kind of did a little bonus one due to a question earlier, but like, do you guys remember the sign for win? Like you won a game. Yeah, it's It's similar to the sign for collect, but then you would do it with the fist, and then you have something right here, like it's kind of like a little bump right here. I look at this like a trophy, and you're pulling it towards yourself. You just won. You just won. You're holding your trophy right here. You're pulling it towards yourself. You're winning. You won. Now the sign for correct and right. Correct and right. Yeah. Correct. Or right. Correct. And now the last one. O or bill or debt. Oh, bill or debt. You have your money, your receipt right here. You're pointing to it. You're debt. You're in debt. You're always in debt. Who's not in debt? Only rich people. Maybe even rich people are in debt. Debt. Right here. You owe me. I'm in debt because of school. Yeah. In debt. So, any other questions before I go ahead and like end the class and we all just like begin the socializing time? If not, okay, what's up?
So, like, whenever you were, my headset kind of went black when you were explaining, careful and care, like, care and careful. I didn't really, like, see what the signs were, so,
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. So the sign for care and careful is you have two peace signs. You put one hand over the other, like this. Your dominant hand goes over the other. You keep them both with your thumbs like facing towards the ceiling though, like that. And then you do it in a rotating motion. It's a directional sign as well, so you can do it towards yourself. So care or careful. So like you wouldn't sign something like take care, as in like the signs for take care. You would actually just sign take care. You would tap your dominant hand over your wrist 2 times. So take care. But if you're telling somebody like careful, hey, like be careful. If you're going like on a hike, careful. You would do it in a rotating message or a rotating way. I can't English today. So careful. If you're talking about caring about somebody, it would be the same sign. There also is another sign that you can sign for care, and it's this care. I care about you. Yeah, but this would work as well. It's all dependent on what you wanna use. So
alright, thank you,
care or
man.
careful. If you're caring about yourself, you would do it towards yourself. So yeah, any other questions? Questions? Yeah. What's up? Come up here if you're gonna ask it, cause I'm blind as hell. Hi, how are you?
Could you repeat that real quick? Slow.
Which side? Oh, my name sign? Mine specific, or are you asking what I was saying? So my name sign is this, right? That's what you're asking. I'm lagging really bad. People are joining too, so. But is that what you're asking? Was my name sign, or were you asking about like the point I made about name signs? Oh, what about name signs? What about them? What we were talking about earlier specifically was if somebody's talking about like pronouns in sign language, people don't typically use pronouns in sign language as there are gender roles. But if you're having a conversation, say about somebody, then you would often refer to them as just by their name sign or just by their name in general. You would fingerspell their name. So like if somebody's having a conversation about me, my pronouns are he and him and his. And if they're having a conversation with me or not about me, but not I'm not present, then they would just refer to me as Pandalum like this. They would just sign my name sign. Is what I was saying. Sorry, I got a call. Okay. Yeah, so Yeah, somebody would just refer to a name sign. What was the other part of the question? So name signs are actually something that's given to somebody by a hard of hearing and or deaf person to make somebody's life easier instead of having to fingerspell somebody. Hold on one sec. So I hate chihuahuas. Don't ever get chihuahuas. They're so bad. Always fun to deal with
Check
that.
Discord.
So a name sign is something that's, like I said, given to somebody by a hard of hearing or deaf person. If they have to consistently spell your name out, and they don't want to have to do that, it makes life a little bit easier for them to just give you a name sign. People don't generally ask for name signs. It can be considered a bit rude. So just be careful with that. And like, I think that people in VR consider something like a name sign is like a badge of honor. But like I said, it's really just to make the life of somebody a little bit easier. And so if you eventually get a name sign, it's cool. I understand. But don't like sit there and dwell on it. It's not like that important. It's just like, yeah, like if I have to finger spell your name out a lot, then I would be happy if you had a name sign, but it's not like a big deal. And like I said, only hard of hearing and or deaf people care about a name sign. Not a full hearing person. It's typically a little bit disrespectful for somebody to do so. What, Peachy?
2 things. Okay, I have a question also after this. Well, a name sign is really just a nickname because IRL, because a lot of people that sign are deaf people. They give nicknames because they've known that person a long time. So they're like, okay, instead of finger spelling your name, So anyone can give it to you in VR. It doesn't have to be a hard of hearing person, but like, it's not something that's like everyone knows. It's just between friends. But if there's like a community sign name for that person, then it would be like, hard of hearing person or deaf person that gives it. I don't know. That was my thing. Okay. Question. Can you also show like keep and kind? Like which type?
Yeah, sure, I can.
Keep.
So kind or which type? So you would do the same signs. You have 2 K hands, right? You start from right here on your wrist. If you're doing kind, you're going around in a full circle and ending in the same place. So point A, you're traveling to point B. So that's the sign for kind, like what kind of something, not as in the sign for like that person's a kind person, but as in like the type of something. You would do a full circle and end up in the same place in the wrist. And keep is the same sign. If for take care, it would just be one time. You're just tapping it one time. I keep doing that. I keep having that problem. I keep things, It's a KEEP. A kind person, he would just sign like nice. A nice person. Yeah. The actual sign for kind, I don't know. I don't think there actually is like a sign for kind. Not to my knowledge. There might be, but I can double check that. But last time we had this conversation with somebody, we all just came to the conclusion you could just sign nice person. A nice person or a good person. Wait, what? Can you sign that again? Medicine? Is that what you're gonna say? Yeah, medicine. There's a sign for medicine. You have the palm of your hand, and then you take an 8 hand, technically, and then you would be rolling a
The next real
pill
life class is coming up soon
in the middle of your
Discord.
palm. You're rolling a pill in the middle of your palm. That's a sign for medicine, and or medical as well. So medicine or medical. Yep. Yeah, of course. What's up?
How would I say like, hi, my name is, and I could spell it out. But how would I say like, Cause I already know like hi, and then I'm guessing it would be like my.
Remember
But I
Canadian
don't know how to
Fly?
say name.
Those are the only bad
It
apples
is.
I met.
Tail.
So name would be name would be you have 2 peace hands, and then you're tapping one on the other 2 times. So name is 2 times. If you do it 1 time, it means hard.
I know.
Like that's hard.
Because
It's
I need to
difficult.
talk to you.
If you do it 2
I don't
times,
want
it
to
means
wait until
name.
the entire class is over.
So hi,
But I need to talk.
my name, and then you start spelling out your name.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Oh my god, dude, the lag is horrible.
This class is fun, bro.
All right, so guys, any other questions before I go ahead and just go ahead and like wrap up the class? Xander, do you have one? Oh no, you're just moving. Okay. 42. Yeah, 42. If you get that reference, then I fucking applaud you. If you understand that reference. If you don't, but I appreciate everybody for coming for another like class. Our next class will be an end Discord class with Akira. You don't have to use your webcam if you decide to come to the class, but you do of course have to be in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you can join the Discord over at the front. You'll see a little link that says discord.gg/immersed. You can go and follow that link, and you'll be able to join the server. I appreciate you all. My next class will be on Saturday at 3:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'm gonna play tic tac toe. This is actually Pog, dude. This is Pog.